Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the I Am CDB project. I, of course, am your host, CDB. You are not. And today we're going to go again with another comparison between the Rockwell Model T and the Merkur Progress, or Mergrass. Again, the distinction between the Merkur Progress and Mergrass being that it has a metal adjustment knob. A gentleman named Steve the other day suggested that I use each on one side of my face for the entire shave, all three passes, and then see which was more efficient or provided for the better shape, and I think that's a good idea. Anyway, yes, we'll be actually removing whiskers. I'm a little ways back for the camera, so it's not super close in, so you can't see it. But every single day, I'm shaving with a blade and removing whiskers, as you can see in the sink, after I'm finished. So to those who are, make those comments, just know I'm actually shaving. Okay, we're using, again, the West Coast Shaving synthetic brush with the Williams Ice Blue Cream. Good cream. I've been using it quite a bit. It's good stuff. It lathers easily. It does a good job. Works well. No problems really to report. And so I think I'm going to use the Rockwell on this side of my face throughout. So we'll start here. It is set on 3, and it feels pretty good. Again, nice and smooth. That's how I would really characterize the Rockwell. And for those of you who, watch other people, some people make really short, stabby type strokes. Some people make longer, sort of strokes like me. Do whatever works best for you. There's no right or wrong way to do it unless you're cutting yourself and having lots of issues. If it's working for you, go with it. There's no real authority on things that work best for every single person. And the Rockwell did a really nice job there. No problems whatsoever on that pass. So now we'll go with the Merkur Progress on the other side. Very nice. Again, I'm thinking that the Progress feels a little more efficient, but the Rockwell feels a little smoother. Just kind of my assessment this far. The other thing is too, I don't think the Merkur is as likely to sort of clog or get a lot of cream in there, so you can go a little bit longer. It's just because of the way it's designed. But it feels good also. No problems at all with this pass, really, with either razor. Let's just sort of feel around. I can't really tell, honestly, from that pass. I mean, we'll have to wait. I can't tell much difference. But we'll see how it comes out after each pass, and in particular the third pass, if they come out pretty much even or one feels considerably better than the other. One of the things that I think is a problem for tests like this is I think we tend to adjust our strokes based on what we're feeling during the shave. So unless I'm doing exactly the same amount of strokes on each side, it's kind of hard to make a comparison and make it equal, because I think we just, based on feel, you just adjust. You do more to get it even, but we'll see how it goes. I think it's a good idea from Steve. Steve also mentioned that I look like I'm looking not directly into the camera. I'm actually using my phone as the camera to see what I'm doing, so I'm looking into it to watch. And so if my eyes don't look like they're directly looking at you, it's because I'm actually watching what I'm doing during the shave, because the mirror is behind the camera here, so I can't really see the mirror. So I'm using the camera for that purpose. So it's not always looking directly at you. It's because I'm focusing on the area of my face I'm shaving and so on. So let us continue with the Rockwell Model T. Again, I've enjoyed using this razor. Now, one of the things you see there, see how that, tends to pick up a little more soap, and it sort of probably still works. It's not clogged, but it appears to be. You do need to rinse more often, in my view, with the Rockwell. And that's just based on the design. You know, it's a butterfly design and so on and so forth. Different design. And so you would expect a certain amount of that. Whereas the Merkur, I don't think you have to quite as much. Getting this past feeling. Nose has been itching. Very, very, very smooth. For those of you who are in razor and brush, I hope you've seen the inspector's live shaves. He's been doing some live shaves, and he does this move where he's shaving, you know, the mustache, he's like trimming on his lip. And at one point, he's like doing these really choppy steps. Like, that is cut city for a lot of people. It's just, that is a very risky move that he pulls it off. I wouldn't do it. It doesn't, like, I just haven't developed the dexterity to do that, because you can cut yourself very easily by snagging your lip and so on. Anyway, we're continuing on here. Doing well with the Merkur progress. Again, the main thing that I would still say is I believe the Merkur progress, whatever you want to call it, feels a little more efficient on this setting. The settings obviously may not be equivalent, so it's not a 100% apples to apples test. But overall, they're both nice, and I wouldn't really have a problem using either one of them. Let's feel around a little bit. Still, I think this side might be a little better shaved at this point, but just slightly, if at all. Maybe ever so slightly. Not a lot. So we'll see what happens after this third pass here, and that's really what matters ultimately. How does it come out? And then we'll make any adjustments that we need to make in terms of touch-ups on either side or both or what have you. Okay. There you go. Anyway, check out the inspector's live streams on razor and brush. He's definitely getting after it, but that lip move, man, that's insane. I would not do that, but that's the way he does it. I use clippers to trim there, like electric, just to get that lip area. But he pulls it off. I think he did get a weeper or something, but that's an interesting move, I must say. All right, let's go with our third and final pass here with the Rockwell. It feels really nice and smooth. It is a long razor, so if you're averse to long handles, that's something to pay attention to. But it's a nice razor, I believe. I think it does a real nice job. And let's just clean up here a little bit without doing things I normally would not do, just to sort of finish it out, and then we'll go with the other side, and then we'll compare at the end. And I have a feeling they're not going to come out tremendously different, but I think some of that is just the way we adjust the number of strokes, based on, you can feel when the blade is cutting hair, when you're making a pass, if you're still feeling more, you tend to keep going. And so I think some of that is just adjustments. So I would almost have to count each stroke to do a real comparison. So as long as you keep feeling, hair's being cut, you'll just keep going. So I think mostly it's going to even out. But what I can tell is I believe the progress is just a little more efficient on the settings that match the Rockwell. Like just in terms of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on. That's what I can tell you. Okay, Let's check here and see how we did. This side is a little bit smoother. I'm still feeling just a little bit versus this side. And I try to make it as even as I could. So let's do a little touching up with the progress. I believe just based on my use and the way that I shave, I believe that the progress is a little more efficient. That does not make it a better razor, let's be clear. But I think it's, at least on the settings that, that 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4, and 5 to 5, the Merkur is just a little bit more efficient in my view. It doesn't really mean anything other than, here's the way I would put it. If you need, actually require, I should say, a little more aggression, maybe this one is the way to go. It is cheaper. Usually I want to say 69, 75 bucks, somewhere there in between. Of course, if it's Merkur, it's more expensive, but a regular progress is roughly half of what this one costs, I think. Does a really good job. It is 2-piece versus the, butterfly design. If you want something that's smoother, maybe slightly less efficient in a butterfly design 1-piece, Rockwell. It is more expensive, but either one, I think it's going to provide you a pretty doggone good shave. Both are very good adjustables, and from my point of view, I wouldn't crown one being greater than the other. One costs more, smoother, a little less efficient. One's less expensive, a little more efficient, perhaps not as smooth for me. You may do a test and come to a completely different result, but in my use, the way I shave, this is the way I see it. Again, we've used our West Coast shaving brush with the Williams Icy Blue Cream. I want to thank everyone for joining me once again for this comparison. Again, if you have not subscribed, I ask you to subscribe to the channel. That helps me out. Like the video, follow the social media addresses that are below. I really appreciate it. Until next time, I've been your host, CDV. You're not. God bless.